The one and only Elon Musk dropped a bombshell on the Joe Rogan podcast with several choice words for the ultra-leftist billionaire George Soros. We're going to see exactly what Elon had to say and precisely why he said it. Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's dive right in.
I mean, Soros actually, he is, I believe, the top contributor to the Democratic Party. The second one was Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yeah.
So, and Soros, I don't know. I mean, he had a very difficult upbringing, in my opinion, he fundamentally hates humanity. That's my opinion.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, well, he's doing things that erode the fabric of civilization. Getting DAs elected who refuse to prosecute crime. That's part of the problem in San Francisco and LA and a bunch of other cities. So why would you do that?
Was it humanity or is it just the United States as a whole? I mean,
He's pushing things in other countries too,
He's
not
doing
just
the
here.
same thing?
Yeah. Now, George at this point is pretty old. I mean, he's not, he's basically a bit senile at this point. But I mean, he's very smart. And he's very good at arbitrage. Famously, he shorted the British pound. That's sort of how I think he made his first money, was shorting the pound. So he's good at spotting, basically arbitrage, like spotting value for money that other people don't see. So one of the things he noticed was that that the value for money in local races is much higher than it is in national races. So the lowest value for money is a presidential race. Then next lowest value for money is a Senate race, then a Congress, and but once you get to sort of city and state district attorneys, the value for money is extremely good. And Soros realized that you don't actually need to change the laws, you just need to change how they're enforced. If nobody chooses to enforce the law, or the laws are differentially enforced, it's like changing the laws.
All right, so there's a lot there to unpack. So let's start with the bombshell statement that Elon, he's actually made before, where he believes that Soros fundamentally hates humanity. In a tweet some months back, Musk compared Soros to the X-Men villain Magneto, who's on a war path against humanity. And when a Twitter user defended Soros as having good intentions, which are criticized by those who disagree with his politics, Musk responded, "You assume they're good intentions. They're not. He wants to erode the very fabric of civilization. Soros hates humanity." And so you basically heard him repeat that very thing with Joe Rogan. Soros hates humanity. And by the way, the mind-numb legacy media, who are incurably encumbered by wokeness, only respond by accusing Musk of anti-Semitism whenever he talks about Soros like that. It's so predictably boring and stupid. Far better is a recent piece from Business Insider, which tried to understand precisely why Soros is so literally hell-bent on putting in these radical far-left DAs who refuse to enforce the law. And one theory, besides the notion that he hates humanity, one theory is that it's actually rooted in something he said back in 2006, where Soros actually said that the main obstacle to a stable and just world is the United States. And this Business Insider piece argues that Soros' efforts inside the United States to deliberately undermine the enforcement of law and order are consistent with that view. Soros wants to intentionally weaken the United States from within so as to weaken our power abroad. Soros saw the state's sole superpower status as a threat to international peace and prosperity. And so in order to further a far more multilateral world order, he's been deliberately trying to set internal discord and disarray here at home. And the key here is the role that the radicalized Democratic Party plays in all of this. It's the Democrats that have been radicalized, right? Not Republicans. Democrats. They're the ones who are openly attempting to bring in a post-American society within our borders. The Democrats are deliberately trying to weaken the United States, particularly at its local municipal levels with these insane DAs, so as to be able to usher in a more globalist-inspired conception of government in accordance with Soros' vision. That would certainly explain the tens of millions of dollars he pours into the coffers of some of the most anti-law enforcement Democrats on the planet. And it takes stock of Soros's radical commitment to globalization and centralized globalizing institutions like the WEF. But there is most certainly a dimension in Soros's thought that does seem to underscore precisely what Musk accuses him of. Soros definitely hates humanity, and I'm going to show you precisely why. But first, every one of you needs to click on that link below right now and learn how to stick it to the establishment by using their own corruption against them. And you know exactly what I'm talking about here. Companies like BlackRock, they've been bribing corrupt politicians like Nancy Pelosi with insider trading secrets for decades now. They know a whole host of trading secrets that gives them an unfair advantage when picking stocks. But did you know that thanks to a little-known SEC database, guess what? We can have access to those very secrets as well. We get to see what stocks these corporate CEOs are buying up in real time, and then we get to piggyback on their trades to gain the same advantage for ourselves that Pelosi and the crooks in D.C. have. My friend Ross Gibbons, he's been tracking insider trading for years now, and his recommendations have led to investment returns of over 200%. Some have hit as high as nearly 1,500%, and now it's your turn. Click on that link below right now and learn how you too can learn to trade like Pelosi. Click on that link below and learn how to gain an insider advantage for yourself today. Many commentators fail to recognize that one of, if not the single most fundamental concerns for Soros is his radical environmental apocalypticism. Soros actually sees the planet as basically expiring, and he believes that only by galvanizing the world's populations into a fully cooperative global community can we hope to overcome this ecological catastrophe. And this is where Soros's politics takes another rather sinister turn. If, according to him, what's at stake with our political policies is the very survival of our planet, if that's the case, then it logically follows that populations simply can't be allowed to choose what Soros believes to be the wrong leaders to represent them. They can't choose a Trump or an Orbán in Hungary or Modi in India or Bolsonaro in Brazil. If they do, then Soros, in response, immediately galvanizes his web of billion-dollar NGOs that in turn actively interfere into the politics of sovereign nations around the planet, precisely to overturn and undo the democratically expressed will of the voters. Soros, when all said and done, he can claim to be a Democrat till he's blue in the face. It doesn't change the fact that he's doing everything he possibly can to orchestrate world events irrespective of voters' will and intention. In the end, because of the environmental apocalypticism, all his rhetoric about open societies and democracy and human rights are all for naught. The only legitimate governments are governments that go along with Soros's vision for the planet and the world order that he believes that will preserve it. No other form of government, no matter how democratically expressed, will do. That, to me, perhaps is the single most sinister element of Soros's politics and worldview. And in this sense, I think Musk is absolutely right. Soros hates humanity, in that humanity for him is too stupid to recognize the apocalyptic environmental crisis that will eventually engulf us all. Now, unfortunately for Soros, the world is moving more and more away. They're moving in a very different direction. A new world order is rising, but it's not the one that Soros has in mind. Increasingly, it's a world marked by an extraordinary return to nation, culture, custom and tradition, civilization. The liberal vision of Soros is being rejected increasingly by more and more populations who are rising up, fighting back, and restoring their national and civilizational sovereignty. Elon Musk is right. Soros's days are over. And thank heavens for that. Hey, gang, I know what it's like to feel alone out there in these turbulent times, but I broke free. If you too have been looking for a community with like-minded patriots who are serious about resisting globalism, building a parallel economy, and having intelligent and deep fellowship on a regular basis, then you've come to the right place. In my Courageous Patriot Insiders community, we're building a close-knit movement of, by, and for patriots who are breaking free from the outrage and despair cycles of the mainstream media and taking on the fight against globalism. Every week, I deep dive into the content I can't share on big tech and give you the cliff notes on the truth of how patriots just like you are building up their communities, starting patriot businesses, and fighting the woke in both public and private. All with a few history and political lessons from yours truly, of course. If you want to stop feeling alone as a patriot and stand together with this fast-growing community, be sure to click on the link in the description below. Don't wait. Join me and my Patriot Coalition today, and let's get fighting.